All right, so here's what my teaching trophy looks like after it's been paper mache. It's been constructed in cardboard and paper mache over, but has not yet been painted. You can use all these different cardboard techniques to build your trophy. Slot and score and fold and, build it up. But the first thing you got to do, though, when you are making a sculpture out of cardboard is you got to prepare that cardboard. So peel off all the stickers, peel off all the tape, because the paper mache does not stick well to those that tape or those labels. So just get rid of them. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my laptop because that's sort of like that holds everything else together. Everything's kind of glued to that. So I'm going to make the frame of the screen first. So I'm, just using a relief technique to sort of build that up. So I'm going to frame out the screen using, these slits of cardboard. Just using scissors to cut that out to frame out the screen. Now, when we are using hot glue, we do need to make sure that we are safe using the hot glue. So I want to slow down just a little bit and talk to you about hot glue safety. Do not do that. Don't put the glue on the small, skinny object. Put it on the larger object so that you can get your fingers away from the nozzle of that glue gun, because it is hot and that hot glue is runny and it can very, very easily get on your fingers, and it does hurt. Yes, I am speaking from experience. I have accidentally hot glued my fingers way too many times. I don't want that to happen to you. It does hurt. It's not going to be like permanent injury, but nobody wants an ouch. Okay, so please be careful and put that hot glue on the larger object away from your fingers. Putting it there on larger object. Okay, so there is my laptop. I'm not going to do all the little keys. I want to move on. So here are my two writing utensils, my Expo marker and my pencil. I want them to lay together kind of flat. So even though in real life they wouldn't, I want them to stick closer to the base of the trophy. So I cut the slot and I put them together so that they do lay flatter on the back of that laptop. So that it will balance more. It will have a better balance and a better relief. Now I'm making the base. Again, see how I'm putting the hot glue on the larger, not like that. Nope. Yep, on the base there, keeping my fingers away from that hot glue. Always keeping the fingers away from the hot glue. Always keeping the fingers away from the cutting utensil, whether it be, the cardboard cutter or the scissors. Really want to make sure that we are practicing safety, right? Be safe. Okay. So I had originally thought I was going to do like a rounded base, and I had that on my sketch, but working with materials, I decided to just do a rectangular prism as my base. There's my base. Okay. Now I'm going to put my laptop on there, kind of figure out how I want to lay that out, and now it's time to cut out my apple. It is too hard to cut out that round shape with scissors. So I'm going to use my cardboard cutter. Again, keeping my fingers behind the knife, keeping them safe. These are much safer than using like utility blades. But I mean, they can still cut if it gets away from you. So you can get a little cut from it, and it's an ouchie. And we don't want any ouchies, okay? So keep your fingers away from the direction that you are cutting. And then sometimes it's just easier to use the scissors. So whatever's easier, the cardboard cutter or the scissors, just kind of have to have a feel for it. There's my apple. Now I want my apple to stick out from the laptop a little bit. So I'm going to have it be like a relief. So I'm just going to create a little tab there that helps that stick out away from the laptop to give it that relief, to give it that three-dimensionality, that sculptural quality. And then I'm also going to build that apple up a little bit. I'll show you here in a later step. All right, just glue that and set that off to the side. Now I decided I wanted to use a pedestal. In my original sketch, I didn't have a pedestal, but I decided actually I do want that. So I'm going to use this cardboard tube and see how it balances. And when I'm trying to balance it, I realize what I need is I need to create a seat on that pedestal. So I create a tab, and that creates a seat for my laptop to actually sit on, right? So that is just kind of experimenting with the materials, experimenting with the objects as you're creating them to create that physical balance so that it will stand up on its own. You don't want a trophy that keeps, falling over, that you have to prop up with a book or something. You want a trophy that will balance and will stand on its own. So be careful how you balance your objects. It should be able to just exist. And then the last thing I want to show you is how we can create more three-dimensional objects with building up a flat surface. One is to use like a layering method and layer up and make smaller and smaller apples, or because an apple is round, I can just take some paper and I can just glue that paper onto, roll it up, squish it up, make it round, and then glue it onto that base. And then when I paper mache it, it can be, a lot rounder and smoother there. So I'm just going to glue a wad of paper onto this apple shape, and then when I paper mache over it, it'll form up into a nice apple shape. Okay, so that's another technique you can use to get more sculptural quality. And because I mapped out where I want to put the glue for my pedestal, it's very easy to just make that line of glue not on the little line of the pedestal, but on the base, which is the bigger object, which will keep my fingers safe and lovely. And now it is all balanced. So I'm going to let that glue dry here for just a second, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like before I paper mache it. So that's what it looks like before it's paper macheed. So it's kind of a mix of paper and cardboard. Clearly I need to add a little support right back there. So I'm going to add a little support back there so it doesn't wiggle and wobble like that. But next time I'm going to show you how to paper mache.